the Baltimore defense, the personnel's changed a little bit maybe, but just what sticks out when you watch the film and, how do you attack them?
Yeah, fast, flying around type of defense. Played them a couple times in my career now. They're going to be physical. They're going to come after the quarterback. You're going to get all that stuff. You're going to get some different looks, some exotic packages, all sorts of stuff. They're going to mix up their personnel a lot, play a lot of linebackers, a lot of safeties, kind of keep you on your toes in that regard. And for us, it's just about execution, keeping it simple. In some respects, communication is going to be huge for us on the road in a noisy environment, and just playing fast and making plays. So it'll be a fun matchup.
How does your approach, how does your week change with the Monday night game? You get an extra day.
Yep.
And secondly, you're not playing until 8:15 at night. How do you spend all that extra time on Monday?
Yeah, I mean, we do get extra time off early in the week, which honestly at this point after 4 games, kind of a quarter of the way through, is kind of nice for guys, mentally and physically to kind of just get an extra 24 hours to kind of refresh themselves, reset themselves. And then also, I mean, it makes for a long day on Monday and then a short week for next week. So there's a lot of things involved. But try not to change the approach too much. Maybe your sleep patterns adjust a little bit and those types of things. But I try not to change my approach too much other than, a little extra time off early in the week.
You like Monday Night Football?
I love it. I love the game. The anticipation, waiting for it, waiting, all that, I think sometimes can drag out a little bit. But playing on national stage, I think everybody gets excited for it.
Carson, you watched Lamar Jackson on film. Just as a quarterback fan, what are some of your thoughts?
I mean, he's a playmaker. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he's as elusive with the ball in his hand as anybody, not just quarterbacks. So a guy that I know I respect a lot and everyone in this organization does and knows what he brings to the table. So he's a playmaker that we got to, take control of. And for us offensively, we know that they're going to be running the ball. They're going to try and limit our possessions. And so we got to know that going into it and really make a conscious effort on offense to keep the ball, convert third downs, and sustain drives so we can keep their offense off the field.
4 weeks in, how quickly has it snapped back in for your eyes to go where Coach Reich's eyes are going on a particular play?
Yeah, it's a great question and well worded. I think it's a process for sure. It's been fun to see even some of the same plays I've been running for now my 6th year, but there's just tweaks. There's little tweaks and things, and every week, I feel more and more confident with it and just understanding what he's expecting on a given play and how I see it. It's been a really good working relationship, and so every week it gets better, and we're on the same page for the most part.
Last week was your best week in terms of making decisions in terms of toeing that line between taking shots downfield and taking the check downs. When you went back and you watched the film, did you kind of feel the same about that?
Probably. I think some of that is just predicated on what the defense has given me and just being smart, knowing where Naheem is or Jonathan is out of the backfield, that, not forcing it down the field. And coaches do a great job of building the plan, saying, hey, if it's there, take it. But if they give you this look, this coverage, just find your back. So, I thought it was pretty solid on that front.
So you prepare every week for whatever the challenge is, but this is a team that thrives on takeaways. I mean, for the last 10, 15 years. Does it change your approach, or, how can you be more honed in on ball security than you always are?
Yeah, honestly, around here, coaches just hammer us with ball security. It doesn't matter who we're playing, the opponent, all of those things. Coaches do an incredible job of, showing, okay, this is how they like to attack on defense. This is the type of aggression that they play with, all of that stuff. And so they're always preaching it around here. So for us, it's, hey, just stick to what we know and what we do best. Take care of the football when we're carrying it, take care of the ball when we're throwing it, and just make a concerted effort. But at the same time, we don't really change our routine on that front because we do preach it all the time around here.
Off that topic, but through 4 games, you've been position-wise as far as targets and all this. 2 receivers, Pittman and Pascal, really been the guys in that room. Do you step back and look at how you're distributing the ball to receivers, tight ends? Do you need to get other receivers more involved than they have been, or is this just a fluky month of the season?
I don't know if I'd say fluky. Obviously those 2 guys are a big part of what we do.
The other guys not doing.
But as far as just how it's called, the ball goes where the play is, calls for it at the end of the day. We play a lot of 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, 1 tight end. So we got lots of guys in there. The ball's just found those guys, I'd say, quite a bit. And for good reason, too, nonetheless. But I know around here our emphasis is to spread it out, spread it around, get it in lots of guys' hands. And I think at the end of the season, when it's all said and done, you're going to see a very balanced attack and getting the ball in lots of guys' hands.
You talking about interceptions and or the ball security topic. Over the course of your career, you never really had a lot of interceptions. It doesn't seem like before last year, right?
Yeah.
So now you're looking back at it. I mean, is this what you've kind of been, and how have you kind of maintained that throughout your career? I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
But also being a playmaker.
for sure, you're always toeing the line. We've talked about it, running the ball and protecting myself and making those plays, but also forcing it down the field. Don't force it when it's not there, but you still have to play aggressive. You're going to turn it over every now and then. You're just going to try and limit those opportunities that you give the defense. And so I've always tried to be a playmaker and make the plays down the field when they're there, but at the same time know how important that football is. And we want to end every drive with a kick. And so, I'd say I kind of have that back and forth in my mind almost every play of aggression but discipline, aggression and discipline. And so at the end of the day, hopefully it works out in the right way.
A couple more.
The obvious question, it's kind of good that it hasn't been brought up yet, but your ankles, we're now a couple weeks removed now, you've played on them twice. How you're feeling this time? You got a little extra rest, as you mentioned. You feel like you're a lot healthier moving forward?
I definitely feel much better. I came out of the game thankfully unscathed, felt good, the next morning, and the extra rest here early in the week has definitely helped as well. So hopefully we're not talking about it too much longer, and they're in a pretty good place.
When you play a team that runs a lot, cover zero, like Baltimore does, how is that different from playing, say, a team that drops back and plays more zone or pushes the safeties back, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about them is they'll do both. At any point in time, they'll make it look like they're playing two deep coverage, and next thing you know, it's coverage zero, and then vice versa. So you just got to be on it. It takes maybe a little extra prep and film study and all of that, and just having an answer. Okay, if they do bluff it here, what's my go-to? And if they do bring it, I got to make sure I have a hot or a quick answer. But yeah, it just takes a little extra preparation and extra communication.